Hello, I'm Reverend Patrick Mahoney of the Christian Defense Coalition, and behind me is the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. Specifically in this side of the building is the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. 2.5 years ago, we applied for a permit to leave messages in front of the White House challenging President Obama to stand for human rights, to stand for social justice, and to stand against the violence of abortion. And as part of that demonstration, we wanted to leave messages on the street, the public street, in sidewalk chalk. For 20 years, we have been allowed to sidewalk chalk in our nation's capital. And for the first time ever, the Christian Defense Coalition was denied the right to sidewalk chalk. We immediately went into district federal court seeking an injunction, and we lost that round. And just last week, the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, the second highest court in the country, also upheld the ban on sidewalk chalk. This is troubling for a number of reasons. First of all, if you look at these pictures, these are people who the city of Washington, D.C. has given permission to sidewalk chalk. This is in front of the Martin Luther King Library in D.C. It's called Chalk for Peace. Here we have a student in front of George Washington University. This is a public street. It's not a private street. The city of D.C. gave her permission. Here's another student at George Washington University in a public street. We were denied that right to sidewalk chalk. It's hard to believe that in our nation's capital, one group would be allowed to carry on certain free speech, First Amendment activities, and another group would be denied. It's very reminiscent of what we saw in the civil rights era when white Americans were allowed to engage in certain conduct and African Americans were denied the right to engage in the same conduct. So we are here today to challenge that discrimination and bigotry. We are here to write in front of this U.S. District Federal Court of Appeals the First Amendment. In just a moment, I'm going to write it on the public sidewalk. But perhaps even more troubling, Judge Kavanaugh in the Federal Court of Opinions decision that just came out last week, he said this, and I'm quoting, "No one has a First Amendment right, for example, to spray paint the Washington Monument or smash the windows of a police car," end quote. We agree with that, Judge Kavanaugh, but that's not what we asked for. We asked to use biodegradable chalk to leave a message on the street like all of these people did, and to clean the street up and leave it in the exact same condition as when before we started the demonstration. To liken that kind of peaceful witness to smashing out police car windows is a disgrace. It's actually the worst court ruling I have seen in 35 years of public life. So we are here to say simply this: we will not be bullied, we will not be intimidated, we will not have our First Amendment rights crushed, and Judge Kavanaugh's office is right up here somewhere in this building, and we felt it was important to give him a teaching lesson and to remind him of these timeless principles of the First Amendment. So in just a moment, I'm going to sidewalk chalk the First Amendment here in front of the court building. First Amendment reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." So, to Judge Kavanaugh, we remind Judge Kavanaugh, the Circuit Court of Appeals, that Congress cannot ban free speech. We have come here today as a prophetic witness to say this: we will not be bullied, we will not be intimidated, we will not surrender, we will not compromise, we will not yield on the right of every American, whatever their political religious views might be, to exercise that in the public square. Leave the streets.